Good evening and welcome to the second show of the spring 2026 semester.
We'll be covering University of Delaware local stories and some worldwide news. I'm Sierra Gustin.
And I'm Jessica Nemec. 49 News starts right now.
The University of Delaware will soon officially have a new president, Dr. Laura Carlson. The first woman president and the 29th president of the University of Delaware will be inaugurated with 2 full days of activities. Starting Thursday, April 16th at 3 p.m., President Carlson will bring back her Prez runs, starting in Mentor's Circle. And on Friday, April 17th, classes are suspended to allow all students, faculty, and staff to attend the inauguration ceremony on the north steps of Memorial Hall. Be sure to register for the event by April 9th if you plan to attend and potentially catch a glimpse of former President Joe Biden. The University of Delaware offers an alternative spring break program that provides service opportunities for students. This year, over a dozen UD students volunteered in Frederick County, Maryland. The students assisted the Chesapeake Bay Foundation through various environmental projects. These included planting 70 trees in Potomac River watershed and assembling 40 reef balls for oyster restoration.
Researchers from the University of Delaware built a living shoreline along Lewes. This will protect the coast from erosion that rising sea levels cause. The team will complete another phase in May, where they will add live plants to the 400-foot-long shoreline. This installation will also aid in the research of UD Lewis. April marks Earth Month, and the university is celebrating with multiple events on campus. On April 15th, the Delaware Environmental Institute will host a symposium to showcase various environmental-related work underway here at UD, while at the same time running a visual arts competition featuring works exploring the environment. On official Earth Day, April 24th, the green will turn into a festival, including a clothing swap, booths showcasing campus and community groups, and free U-Dairy ice cream. To wrap up Earth Month, the College of Agricultural and Natural Resources will host its annual Ag Day on April 25th. It is planned to have over 90 attractions, educational activities, live performances, plant sales, and much more. Speaking of Earth Month, St. Patrick's Day weekend is always a big weekend in Newark, but with the extra commotion, who is cleaning up after students?
From bagpipes to rowdy students, the sounds of Irish celebrations were hard to miss in Newark this past weekend. If you found yourself near Main Street, it's likely you heard some of the commotions of St. Patrick's Day celebrators.
And it's even more likely that you saw some of the trash they left in their wake, from cans, plastic cups, and a few gallons of green liquid. UD students certainly left their mark on Newark.
I'm here on East Park Place, and although it's quiet this Sunday morning, it was pretty busy this past weekend with students. And although a lot of students contributed to the mess, some students are ready to clean it up.
The University of Delaware Outing Club is one of the groups of students ready to help make Newark a beautiful place once again.
We're doing a community cleanup for after St. Patrick's Day because the streets of Newark get absolutely trashed, and we're trying to help the community a little bit.
The Outing Club hosted their annual St. Patty's cleanup, and although it's bits and pieces, it was still enough to make it worth their time.
It's like you don't think you're gonna find that much because you're like, oh, like it's scattered around, but then by the end your bag is like literally full. So it's definitely necessary.
Dedicated students took about 2 hours out of their morning to walk around East Campus, collecting any trash and lost items they could find all the way down to the Pomeroy Trail. And the Outing Club's community service doesn't end at the campus limits.
We also partnered with Delaware State Parks. They do events that you can sign up for. We did an invasive plant removal one day, which was really fun. So yeah, we kind of just get the groups together and do events like this. It's kind of fun.
If you're looking to get more involved on campus or more involved in giving back to the community, make sure to check out the Outing Club. For 49 News, I'm Emma Schneider.
Good evening, Newark. I'm meteorologist Sienna Casso with the weather. While I'm sure many of the UD students at home watch the Winter Olympics, many don't think about the negative impacts climate change has had on them. This year, Milan had to use fake man-made snow for many of the sports due to our warming climate. Many athletes say this terrain makes events more difficult and unpredictable. Over 20,000 people have signed a petition started by former Olympians to ban sponsorships from fossil fuel companies contributing to climate change. Looking at the drought monitor, Newcastle County is in the light orange and the bright yellow, meaning it is in moderate drought and abnormally dry. Here are our local conditions. This afternoon was relatively warm at 55 degrees. Currently, it is around the same temperature at 52 degrees. and it will be pretty chilly tomorrow morning, making us all miss that 80-degree weather we had on Saturday. Looking at the overnight forecast, there will be clear skies and the temperature will drop to 43 degrees. The sun sets around 7:32 p.m. and rises at around 6:37 a.m. Now let's take a look at the 7-day forecast. Tomorrow and Wednesday will be sunny with lows near freezing and highs in the 50s, so make sure to wear layers. Throughout the rest of the week, temperatures will rise, but it will be partly or mostly cloudy. Saturdays and Sundays in the high 70s, and by Monday, it will be 82 degrees, finally getting warmer in Newark, Delaware. Thanks for tuning into Blue Hen Weather, and see you next time.
Thank you, Santa, for the weather update. In Blue Hen News, the Basketball Hall of Fame announced on Saturday that the University of Delaware alumna Elena Delle Donne will be inducted this year. Delle Donne played D1 women's basketball at the university from 2009 to 2013 before being drafted by the Chicago Sky in the 2nd overall pick. Her impressive career consists of beating multiple school records at UD, being a 2016 Olympic gold medalist, playing in the WNBA for the 12 years, becoming an author, and more. The induction weekend is set to begin on Friday, August 14th, 2026. The University of Delaware's new Division I women's ice hockey team is making an impact despite having a tough inaugural season, ending with a record of 2-31. Having a majority of freshmen led by coach Allison Kumi, the team has quickly earned respect for their determination, signaling a promising future for women's hockey at UD. With March Madness coming to a close, students around campus are buzzing with excitement. Ava West went to find more.
Spring has officially sprung in Newark, and with that comes March Madness. Although midterms may be overwhelming, some students turn to sports for an outlet.
It's a beautiful day here at the University of Delaware, so let's talk to some students about their input on this year's March Madness tournament.
I really like women's basketball because I'm super passionate about women's sports and just viewership of them going up in general. I think it's really cool. I think there is the ego in it and stuff, but it feels a lot less extreme than the men's.
I am participating in a bracket with my boyfriend's team, and it's really funny seeing them talk about it.
The biggest surprise to me was definitely Iowa. I didn't realize it was like that. They were a 9 seed. Obviously they did end up losing to Illinois, who Keaton Wagler, he is that guy. The other thing is that apparently Dan Hurley, he's got devil magic on his side, because how UConn beat Duke, I don't understand.
I'll be honest, I don't know a ton about March Madness and college basketball. I just filled out a bracket. I think I had University of Penn winning it. So that goes to show how much I know.
Now, let's hear from University of Delaware basketball manager Vic Delano on her take of March Madness this season.
But being a part of college basketball, it's more than just a team. It's a family. It's getting to know the people behind the scenes. For example, the coaches, the people that work the event staff, even the announcers. I'm a manager, and I've gotten to even meet other managers and coaches throughout the entire thing. I call them families, because that's how I feel. My basketball is a family to me. But I enjoy March Madness because I like to see. This is the one time I feel like college kids fight for what they want. You are playing to win. It is win or go home. And it's very enjoyable to see the teams fight for what they want, the coaches to be very involved and intense with it. And I think people like to watch it. The other day when teams were playing at Deer Park, and the intensity, it brought random people together. It just brings people together, and I just like the intensity of it. I also just love watching basketball.
Whether you watch college basketball or not, it still seems to have a way of uniting campus. From 49 News, I'm Ava West.
Here's Ava West with our sports update.
Thanks, Jessica. I'm Ava West, and welcome to the sports segment. Speaking of March Madness, UCLA blew out South Carolina for their first women's national championship title with a final score of 79-51. UCLA took a 30-15 lead midway through the second quarter, and at halftime their lead stood at 36-23. This was the second year in a row South Carolina suffered a blowout loss in the NCAA final. As for the men's March Madness tournament, Michigan and UConn face off tonight at 8:50 for the national championship title. Michigan is favored by 6.5 to 7.5 points over the Huskies, primarily due to Michigan's top-ranked defense. Transitioning to the NHL, the Philadelphia Flyers defeated the Bruins in overtime yesterday with a goal by Martone, his first ever, allowing them to move into a playoff spot. Flyers players have reported that having a confident kid and confident player is helping boost the team's energy and prepare them for the final 5 games to go. Phillies pitcher Zach Wheeler is still on track to return in April, despite his rocky Friday night start in Lehigh Valley. He let up 5 runs off 4 hits and 2 walks, but his defense wasn't doing him any favors. The Phillies sadly lost in their game to the Colorado Rockies on Sunday, 4-1. That's all the sports updates I have for you tonight. Now, back to the news.
Thank you, Ava, for the sports update. The Newark Arts Alliance has been supporting local artists and creativity in the community for more than 30 years. The nonprofit organization offers gallery exhibitions, classes, and free programs for people of all ages and skill levels. The organization also provides outreach programs that bring art to children, seniors, and local business. The annual Newark Garden Tour will return this May with live music, workshops, and an online silent auction. A new boutique is bringing style and sustainability to Main Street in Newark, Delaware. I stopped by Finders Keepers to see how this student-driven shop is turning secondhand fashion into a community trend.
Hi guys, come on inside.
A new boutique is catching the attention of shoppers on Main Street in Newark, Delaware. Inside the shop, named Finders Keepers, customers can browse racks of clothing, accessories, and hundreds of unique pieces donated by UD students. The owners, Bianca and Brooke, are both former Blue Hens who have always shared a passion for fashion and business.
We felt there was a gap in just fashion on Main Street. There's not a lot of retail, and we kind of wanted to revive retail in a way, in a sustainable way too. So that's kind of what it's all about, bringing together the community.
While Main Street is mostly known for its many restaurants, customers say they're excited to see a new shopping spot join the area.
You're more inclined to find something unique. And I think it's really cool that they opened it up here because in a college town, a lot of people have clothes that are rare or that they just want to get rid of. So I think it's a really good addition to a college town.
In a college town like Newark, styles are constantly changing. The owners say Finders Keepers gives students a chance to donate and shop for clothes that are affordable and sustainable.
I do like to shop secondhand, and I think that this place has a really good selection of, well, now I'm looking at the jeans, but jeans, dresses, and stuff that normally I wouldn't try on, but the way they advertise it looks very, very good.
We would love to be a staple business on Main Street and something that is kind of really ingrained with the University of Delaware community. As former Blue Hens as well, it just means a lot to us to be able to kind of create something that could be
lifelong.
Yeah.
Small businesses like Finders Keepers continue to shape the character of Main Street, giving shoppers new places to explore while supporting local entrepreneurs like Bianca and Brooke. For 49 News, I'm Jessica Nemec.
Delaware got in on the April Fool's Day fun this past weekend when the state official Instagram, Delaware_gov, posted a not-so-subtle nod towards New Jersey drivers needing a special sticker to travel through the first state. The fake sticker read, "Novice left turner, please give some space," and even matches the colors of the New Jersey license plate. The neighboring states have a history of April Fool's Day prank wars, but this year New Jersey has no response. On Saturday, March 28th, protesters gathered for the third No Kings protest in Delaware for the fight for pressing issues, including immigration, takes way. Citizens and lawmakers are coming together to pass House Bill 58. This bill is intended to protect the privacy of Delaware immigrants following an instance where the Laurel Police Department voluntarily released the location of Haitians they assumed to be immigrants to ICE officials. To ensure the safety of communities, the fight for this legislation persists. Let's find out what's going on around the country with our political correspondent, Michael Stoll.
The Iran war is now in its 6th week with no clear end in sight. President Trump has indicated the fighting could last another 2 to 3 weeks. On Sunday, President Trump delivered an ultimatum to the Iranian regime, saying the United States will blow up the entire country if Iran does not open that vital Strait of Hormuz to oil and freight traffic within 48 hours. Trump, in a profanity-laced Truth Social post, claimed if the ultimatum was not met, the U.S. military will target Iranian power plants and bridges with the goal to cripple Iranian infrastructure, which some are claiming would equate to war crimes, as the military would be targeting civilian infrastructure. Trump has also said very little will be off the table if a deal is not met, including the possibility of boots on the ground in Iranian territory. So far, the negotiations mediated by Pakistan, Turkey, and other regional countries have proved unsuccessful, and both sides claim the other's demands are unreasonable. A missing U.S. service member has been rescued from Iran after an American fighter jet was shot down on Friday. This marked the first time since the start of the war that a known U.S. aircraft crashed in Iranian territory. Later that same day, an A-10 Warthog was also struck by Iranian forces. President Trump has also grown increasingly frustrated over the chokehold Iran is imposing over the Strait of Hormuz, as it is hiking up gas and oil prices in America and around the world. Many Americans are growing weary of the war, as it is leading to significant impacts to their wallets. With the national gas average price climbing to $4 a gallon and the stock market reaching new 2026 lows, as a recent YouGov economics poll reveals, the president's approval rating has slipped down to 35%. Many voters blame him and his actions for the rise in prices. In a worrying sign for the president and Republicans, young voters have significantly soured on his performance in office, giving him only a 24% approval rating, down from a plurality of support when Trump took office in January 2025. Controversial ex-advisor to President Trump, Steve Bannon, was handed a victory by the Supreme Court. Bannon had previously served 4 months in prison in 2022 after being found guilty on contempt of Congress charges for failing to honor a subpoena from the January 6th Congressional Committee. The Trump DOJ has sought to dismiss the indictment and overturn the conviction, as Bannon is one of the staunchest allies of the president. The Supreme Court did not explain its unanimous decision. That's all I have in political news. Back to Sierra.
Measles cases are rising in the United States, and the University of Delaware provided students with a webpage dedicated to informing them about this. Natalie Rulio has more.
The Delaware Division of Public Health has reported an individual with confirmed measles last month. University of Delaware Student Health Services sent out an email to the student body addressing it and letting everyone know that UD created a webpage dedicated to providing general measles information. This webpage has resources for students, faculty, and staff to confirm or determine their measles immunity status, as well as resources to receive the MMR vaccine. I spoke with Kelly Frick, the medical director for UD Student Health Services, to learn more.
So the case numbers that we've had so far in 2026, so from January and February, are almost half of the cases that were in the entire calendar year last year, 2025. It is also a state law for students at public institutions of higher education like UD to be vaccinated against measles prior to arriving on campus. Yes. And we are certainly happy to talk out individual questions as well with students.
The University of Delaware is dedicated to making sure students are healthy and feel safe on campus. Let's see if students feel supported by the UD Health Clinic and their initial thoughts after hearing about measles.
I think it's really good that we have the health clinic on campus because it's accessible because you pay for it with your tuition. So you don't have to worry about a copay if you're ever sick or going somewhere else. I've also been for sick visits a lot, especially this semester. I've gotten blood drawn there. I've picked up prescriptions there. I've also just had normal checkups there. I did hear about the measles outbreak, and I actually asked my injection lady Jody about it, and she said that we don't need to worry because if you want to be a student at the University of Delaware, you have to have your 2 measles vaccinations, and we're 97% covered. So we're fine.
UD students can confirm their measles immunity status in the medical clearances section of the UD Health portal.
Yeah, I've actually never been to the UD Health Clinic. I haven't been very sick or badly sick while I've been at school, but I've only heard good things about it from people who have went.
Yeah, so I've only been there once back when I was a freshman, but the people that work there are very kind and they helped me out. I had the flu, so they gave me the proper antibiotics and helped me get over my sickness. I don't know much about the measles, but if you're not vaccinated, then you should probably get vaccinated.
I went to the UD Health Clinic and they were so helpful. They were really all so nice and it was so easy and so accessible for students.
After speaking with a couple of students, it is clear that they feel supported by the UD Health Clinic, even if they haven't been there themselves or they haven't been there a lot. For 49 News, I'm Natalie Rulio.
A 25-year-old man has been arrested in connection with a series of robberies in Newark, Delaware. Police say the suspect targeted victims during online sales meetups, using both a knife and a gun. The incidents occurred on February 26, March 28th, and March 29th. Authorities say he is taken into custody after being caught shoplifting and resisting arrest, therefore injuring an officer. A Newark man was killed and another injured during a head-on crash on Del 896 north of Old Baltimore Pike, according to Delaware State Police. The driver of a Jeep Grand Cherokee was heading north when he crossed the center of the median and struck a southbound Chevrolet Silverado. The driver of the Chevrolet, a 42-year-old man, was hospitalized with critical injuries. The crash remains under investigation, and troopers ask anyone who witnessed the crash to contact them. Possible human remains, including a skull, were found in Newcastle County, Delaware, this week. Police say the recovered remains have been turned over to the Delaware Division of Forensic Science for further analysis. This investigation is ongoing, and the identity of the individual has not been confirmed, according to officials. The state of Delaware is seeing one of the largest population shifts in the country. According to newly released census information, Delaware saw the biggest population gain in the Northeast region at an almost 7% increase. This population growth is due to a migration with over 50,000 Americans choosing to now call the first state home. For our 49 News Entertainment Update, here's Liv Sponigal.
Thank you, Jess. Now let's take a look at what's happening in the world of entertainment. The Super Mario Bros. Galaxy movie premiered in theaters on April 1st. The movie is a sequel to the Super Mario Bros. The movie is based on a Nintendo video game. Voice actors include Chris Pratt, Anya Taylor-Joy, Charlie Day, Jack Black, and more. The movie received negative reviews from critics who called it, quote, torturous to sit through. However, kids have loved the movie. The Super Mario Galaxy movie has earned around $373 million worldwide over the past 5 days. In other news, Sky Ferreira claimed that her old demos were recorded by Charlie XCX. The claim was made underneath a fan's Instagram post where Ferreira stated that Charlie recorded her old songs. An industry insider alleged that 2 songs on Charlie's Wuthering Heights album originated from Sky Ferreira's old demos. However, Ferreira responded, saying that the insider was wrong. Charlie herself has yet to respond to the claims as she is currently filming a movie. Her team released a statement explaining that Charlie always credits fairly and appropriately. Meanwhile, Ye, previously known as Kanye West, is expected to headline the Wireless Festival in London this summer. Ye has caused controversy over the years for his anti-Semitic comments. A year ago, he released a song that suggested support of Adolf Hitler, as well as releasing merchandise with swastikas for sale on his website. While the rapper publicly apologized for his comments in January, there are many concerns regarding his appearance. Pepsi has already withdrawn its sponsorship of the Wireless Music Festival. Diageo, which owns Guinness, Baileys, and Smirnoff, has also withdrawn sponsorship from the festival. The United Kingdom Prime Minister has stated that it is deeply concerning that Kanye West has been booked to perform. Many other public figures in Britain have expressed this same opinion. The Wireless Festival has defended its decision to have Kanye West as the headliner and is calling for forgiveness and hope for the rapper. It is not yet clear whether Ye has applied for entry to Britain. As of yesterday, celebrity Taylor Frankie Paul announced that she's detaching herself from the Mormon Church. The celebrity was featured in the popular show The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. Paul was also intended to appear on the new season of The Bachelorette. However, due to recent domestic violence allegations, The Bachelorette's premiere was canceled and The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives paused filming. Paul shared her decision to leave the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints through an Instagram story on Sunday. She explained that she still has the same beliefs, but that it is time for her to detach herself from the church. And lastly, UD announced this year's spring concert artist. Zara Larsson will be performing on April 23rd with Lisa Heller as the opener. The pop singer has many hits, such as Lush Life, Symphony, Never Forget You, and most recently, Stateside. Tickets went on sale this morning for UD students and sold out almost immediately. General tickets are no longer available, and the concert will take place in the Bob Carpenter Center at 8 p.m. That's all I have for entertainment tonight, but don't worry, there's still more to watch. Thanks for tuning in, and back to Jessica for more news updates.
Thank you. Located right off campus is Newark's Main Street Movies, a place where students and families can unwind and watch a newly released film. Natalie Rulio went out to hear from some of their employees about how it is working there.
Nothing to see here.
Movies can give different things to different people, whether it's escapism, fun, or education. Seeing a movie with a theater full of people is a unique experience compared to watching it alone or at home. Knowing that people may go to the movies for different reasons, what does it mean to those who work there? I spoke with some workers at Main Street Movies to find out what working at a theater means to them and some patterns they see while working there.
We see a lot of variety, like we have specials like Senior Monday, we see a lot of seniors because it's discounted prices. On Discount Tuesday, we see a lot of families. We have a lot of things that we call UD nights. It's usually every Friday and Saturday. We have a group of about 60 kids come in, and they either come to watch like a live movie or they can watch DVDs as well. The movie industry is really fun. You know, you get to help people have their immersive experiences. People use the movies as an escape to get away from home, you know, get away from the real world problems. They're focused on the movie. As for generations, you know, like I said, I see all types of generations here. We see Gen Z, we see millennials, we see Gen Alpha. You know, we see everyone here.
I think my favorite part about this year is the flexible hours for sure. Because after school, I'm still able to come here and still get some good hours in. And also, I'm also a big movie fanatic, so we also tend to get free tickets here for working here, so I tend to use those a lot as well. Working in the movie street is great. I mean, I love doing this, and I'll probably do it until I graduate.
The staff, the customer service, the people, it's just, I feel like working in the movie is such a good job for the real world or whatever.
I just spoke with some Main Street Movie employees here, and it is clear that all generations are still coming to the movies and enjoying them. So whether you're a UD student and you want to come for the next UD night, or you want to come with your family for the next Pixar movie release, this is the place for you. So sit back and enjoy the show. For 49 News, this is Natalie Rulio.
For some worldwide news, Pope Leo XIV celebrated his first Easter Mass as Holy Father on Sunday. He emphasized the message of hope that Easter brings, marking Jesus' resurrection, and Pontiff is the first U.S.-born pope and advocated for peace during the Mass as he recognized the sense of indifference in our world right now, with the conflict continuing in the Middle East. The Artemis II mission, which launched Wednesday, sent 4 astronauts on a 10-day journey from Earth around the moon, the first time humans will travel that far in space since 1972. The crew will not land on the moon, but the mission marks a major step towards returning people to the lunar surface, as one of the main goals of the Artemis program is to determine how to establish a safe and more consistent human presence in deep space. Savannah Guthrie returned on air to the Today Show this morning for the first time since the abduction of her mother, Nancy, at her Tucson, Arizona home on February 1st. Guthrie opened the show saying that it was good to be home and emotionally thanking her supporters who came out to the Rockefeller Center with signs and posters to welcome her back.
The shakeup in the Trump cabinet continues with the firing of Attorney General Pam Bondi last week. Speculation had been growing that the president would fire Bondi following the public uproar over her handling of the Epstein files, and his personal frustration that she was not moving fast enough with the investigations and prosecutions of his political opponents. Bondi will now be moving to a job in the private sector, according to President Trump, with Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche serving as her replacement until a new Attorney General is picked. and confirmed by the U.S. Senate. On a campus where students rely on constant connection, some say staying online is becoming a daily challenge. I took a look into how ongoing Wi-Fi issues are impacting classrooms here on campus.
Okay, don't forget, if you're using a cell phone, you must come up to the front.
In classrooms across campus, staying connected isn't always guaranteed. Students and professors say ongoing Wi-Fi issues are disrupting lectures, assignments, and communication.
There's 120 students in this class, and when we all try to go onto the Wi-Fi in here, invariably there are more than a dozen students who are waiting and waiting and waiting.
Whether it is an important exam or everyday material, when the connection fails, it forces instructors to adjust in real time.
The Wi-Fi completely failed in one of my classes in Allison Hall several times at the beginning of the semester. No Wi-Fi at all.
Students say the problem has become increasingly noticeable.
I feel like there were some issues last year, but I've really noticed it this year. I don't know if it's just the difference of buildings that I'm in.
Standing here in Gore Hall, where Wi-Fi issues are especially common, professors and students say even a short loss of connection can disrupt their work and set them back in their studies and the material they're trying to learn. According to IT, Wi-Fi complaints are one of the most common issues reported on campus.
Yeah, so it can be a few things: a new phone, a new computer, a new device, something like that. Our Wi-Fi is connected via something called a certificate, so those can expire after a certain amount of time, or it can just go out randomly.
For professors and students, the lack of clear answers and a real solution only adds to the frustration.
One of the explanations that I was offered, we don't know if it's true, was that because there's so many devices, a laptop, a tablet, a phone, and everybody has 3 devices. Maybe they have a Fitbit or something. That it's too much for the university system.
As questions remain about when these Wi-Fi issues will be resolved, students and faculty say a reliable connection is no longer optional. For 49 News, I'm Jessica Nemec.
You know, I understand everyone's frustration. When I move from building to building, I know I have to reconnect to the Wi-Fi again, and it's just a whole lot of hassle. What about you?
The Wi-Fi has been so horrible, which is why I decided to even go out and get this story in the first place. Every building I go into, horrible Wi-Fi. Every students, professors, STN, everyone's having problems with the Wi-Fi.
Well, hopefully the issue gets fixed. Well, that's all we have for you tonight. We're here at 49 News. Our next show will be April 20th.
Follow us on socials at 49 News to stay updated on what our crew is up to. I'm Jessica Nemec.
And I'm Sierra Gustin. Have a great night and stay safe, Newark.